Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is going to be part 2 of our series, Beyond the Unknown World of Gaea, which is essentially a series where I try to follow the steps of the hero's journey created by Joseph Campbell. So I'm going to be referencing that a lot as we go through our adventure. If you guys have not seen part 1, I highly recommend that you do so. In case you guys want to know where we're at in the hero's journey currently, we just finished the Road of Trials and we are about to take on the meeting with the goddess. My character has befriended a supernatural entity named Bob, and we have gone through the expected hero's journey moments to get us to where we are now. Like I said, if you guys want to recap, instead of recapping it in this video, feel free to just check out the last video. Without further ado, let's hop in right where we left off. You and Bob continue to walk down the path. The farther you walk, the more trees there are, until you finally can't see any signs of civilization at all. Let's see. You were curious where the city... I mean, to be honest, I have so many questions, to be honest. It's not even, like, just one question, you know? So, you wonder why civilization... You wonder why you can't see any sign of civilization. Bob said that you were headed toward the city of the Wizard of the West. So why aren't there any buildings around? Something seems strange, and you can't quite put your finger on why. You trust Bob as your friend and guide to lead you to Gaea. So you swallow your skepticism and continue to follow his lead without question. So I'm essentially trying to add to the story like, hey, you feel a little weird, you're supposed to be heading toward a city, but you don't really see any signs of a city, but hey, you know, Bob's your friend, he's your guide, and you believe that he is going to take you where you need to go in order to meet Gaea, the goddess. Eventually, the path you're on comes to a fork in the road. One way goes up a steep hill, and the other way goes around the hill and is a longer route. You and Bob stop to ponder which way to go. I don't know. It seems like it should be, like, just easy to just go around the hill. But maybe we should accept the challenge of going up the steep hill. Let's see. I'm going to say, I think we should go up the steep hill. We trained a lot, before crossing into the world of Gaea. We trained specifically going up steep hills. Maybe this is why we did that training. So that we would be ready for when we encounter obstacles like these. What do you think, Bob? Yeah, so let me get, like, Bob's perspective on everything. Also, real quick, I just realized I turned on my fan earlier because my room was a little warm, but it's probably messing with the audio. So let me, like, turn off the fan real quick. I apologize. I normally never turn on the fan in my room, but it probably is creating, like, background for you guys. Okay, so I've turned off the fan. So that sound should be fading out now. Hopefully I haven't disturbed anyone who normally likes to play like music in the background on my videos or anything like that with like the extra fan noise. But let's hop right back into it. Bob jumps into a nearby tree and scolds you for asking him such a silly question. Which way would you go? To stay on the path or leave it and go around the hill. Let's see. Why is this part not in a quote? Also, why does he scold me for asking him a silly question? And why did he jump into a tree? Let's see. You aren't sure why Bob scolded you, or why he hopped into a tree. You motion for Bob to follow you as you attempt to use your sidestep technique you trained earlier to move up the steep hill. Okay, so hopefully this works. Also, I apologize. It's like 1:37 a.m., so I hope I'm still bringing my all to the video, but if I happen to be a little weird, it's probably just because it's getting later at night. What are you doing? Bob scolds. You don't need to walk up the hill. Just change the landscape so that it's no longer a hill. What? You try to clear your mind and imagine the steep hill becoming more level with you at the lowest point of the land. What? Bob didn't tell me this when we were training before. I can just manipulate reality? You open your eyes, and the hill has become much less steep, and you can see a large cave entrance just at the bottom of it. I told you not to waste time walking up the hill, Bob scolds from a perch in the tree. Let's see, you thank Bob for his wisdom, and ask him why he didn't teach you that before during your training. You wonder if this is a power that you only possess in the world of Gaia, which would explain why you couldn't do it before. That you only possess in the world of Gaia the goddess, I would emphasize. This is not a power that you perform through thought. This is a power you can only achieve through letting your mind and body flow as one. Your mind and body must be connected through your spirit, and then the power flows from Gaia herself into you. Now, let us go. Let's see. You take Bob's meaning to be that your mind and I guess that your mind, body, and spirit weren't ready before, but are now to harness the power of Gaia. You believe that your training from before was specifically to get you ready to be able to use Gaia's power. You wonder if the city of the Wizard of the West is inside of that cave at the bottom of the hill. You are excited to meet Gaia the goddess and to try to befriend her. Okay, so let's see where the story's gonna go. So it's cool that we kind of have like Gaia-based powers now. That's pretty dope. You and Bob walk down the gently sloping hill towards the cave. As you get closer, you can hear voices coming from inside of it. You wonder if the voices are those of the goddess and her followers, or if the voices are of a more sinister sort. You sit at the edge of the edge of the cave with Bob and quietly listen to those inside. They sound like they are arguing about whether or not to go get you right now or to wait until morning. Hmm. You wonder why the voices would be trying to get you. Hmm. You don't have any enemies as far as you're aware. So you don't think you should fear the people inside of the cave. You think that maybe they want to get you to introduce you to the goddess. You decide not to fear the unknown and to make your presence known at the edge of the cave. Yeah. So a big part of the hero's journey and about being a hero is being able to face the unknown head first without fear. You stand up and walk over to the opening of the cave and call out, "Hello?" Your voice echoes throughout the large space. "Hello? Hello? Hello?" A man walks out from behind one of the many rocks in the cave and says, okay. So let's see if we're about to meet up with the goddess. Because that's the plan. That's what we want to do. Well, hello there. I wasn't expecting any company out here, let alone someone like you. Look more closely at the man who has come out of the cave to meet you. Let's see. You tell the man that you overheard voices that were arguing about whether or not to get you now or in the morning. You say that you are here now and that you would like to meet Gaea. You tell the man that your goal is to befriend Gaea, just as you have befriended your guide Bob. You attempt to introduce the man to Bob. The man looks over at Bob, who is sitting comfortably on the ground, smiling at the man. The man says, "Well, all right then. It's not every day that Gaia sends someone my way. Let me take you to her so that you may meet her." Ooh, you were excited to finally have the opportunity to meet with Gaia the goddess. You hope that you will be able to become her friend and that she will have a gift for you to help you on your journey into the unknown. The man takes you to the back of the cave where there is a small wooden door which he opens for you. After you walk through it, you find yourself in a tunnel that leads you to a steep incline. Okay? Let's see. I'm going to attempt to use the powers of Gaia to make the steep incline into into an easy to maneuver flat path. Yeah, because apparently I learned how to use the power of Gaia like earlier in this episode, so it seems like something within my power. With a few steps, you make the incline become level with the ground below it, and flick your wrist to turn the rocky walls into painted walls like you saw in the rich man's house in your home village. Oh wow. So that's just something that I'm like able to do now. I guess I'm getting the hang of these abilities. It's cool that the road of trials, which was something that like was to help sharpen like my mind and my courage and my body, directly pays off in my character now having powers and being able to reshape the terrain to make arduous or hazardous terrain into just like something that I can like easily walk through. It's interesting that my challenges aren't like demons and monsters, but it's like, this would be like a lot harder journey if you have to like go up like a big mountain or have to like get past like a lava pit or something. But I imagine as my character encounters these, I can just like morph them to work the way that I want, so I can just easily maneuver through. A matter of fact, it seems like every one of our challenges on this journey so far have had a lot to do with like needing to get somewhere and having to learn how to like use the environment in a way to easily get from point A to point B. Let's see. The man chuckles and says, so what did the man say? Well, it would seem that Gaia has blessed you with her powers, just as I knew she would. It is good to see that my guidance has been proven right once again. Gaia has always been generous to me, and I am glad to see that she will be generous to someone else. Okay, let's see. I'm going to continue down the path to Gaia the goddess. You ask Bob if he is excited to meet the goddess. Bob nods and goes back to humming the song that he was singing in the grassy field before. I wonder what song he was singing before. The man leads you through the tunnel for what seems like an hour, but was probably more like 10 minutes. Let's see. You can feel the anticipation and suspense, which makes time feel like it's going slower. You know that it is worth it, as you are excited to soon meet with the goddess. I wonder if I could use the Gaia powers to shorten the length of the path so that I'd like quickly meet up with the goddess. You follow the man through the tunnel until you eventually reach a large metal door. The man reaches for the doorknob and turns to you. He gives you one last look as if trying to memorize your face before opening the door. He then says, what does he say? And why is he trying to memorize my face? Welcome, in a low voice as he opens the door. The door creaks loudly as it is opened, and you are blinded by a large amount of light coming through the door, which was blocking out all the light to the tunnel. Okay, let's see. I'm going to shield my eyes and cautiously proceed through the door. Let's see if the goddess is on the other side of the door. And let's see what the goddess is like. We don't really know much about this man. I didn't take a lot of time to talk to him. As you proceed through the door, your eyes begin to adjust to the light, and you begin to see that you are at the edge of a large green field. Immediately in front of you is a dirt trail, and it divides the field into two halves. Let's see. I'm going to look around for Gaia the goddess. I just realized I don't know what Gaia looks like, but you imagine that you'll know her when you see her. There is a large field of green grass that extends past the horizon in every direction. Sunlight illuminates the field from overhead and warms your face. The wind blows through the field and ruffles your hair and your clothes. Nice. I'm going to ask Bob. Do you see Gaia anywhere? Gaia the goddess specifically? Bob shakes his head. No! And then points over to his right and asks you, is that Gaia the goddess? You look over to where Bob is pointing, and you see a young girl standing in front of a large oak tree. Okay. Let's see. You say to Bob that you're not sure, but that you'll ask her. You walk over to the girl by the tree and ask her if she is Gaia the goddess. Before I do that, I'm going to thank Bob for pointing her out. You reach her and ask her if she is Gaia the goddess, but she does not answer you. You feel a twinge of pain in your mind as you think to yourself, it would seem I must ask questions to converse with people here. That last part seems unnecessary. Like, why would I be upset about having to ask questions? Let's see. So the little girl didn't answer me. So I'm going to attempt to use the power of Gaia. Well, actually, this is quite interesting. So you have only ever used the power of Gaia to manipulate terrain and walls. You don't know what the full powers of Gaia are capable of. You wonder if you can use the powers of Gaia to identify the goddess. Yeah, like, if it connects me to the goddess, then maybe if I try to tap into the power, I can tell if the girl is the goddess or not. You focus your mind and try to sense the environment around you. You immediately notice that there are small white particles floating in the air all around you. You have learned that white particles indicate the presence of a powerful being nearby. Okay, interesting. Let's see. I'm going to look at the young girl and see how many white particles are floating around her. You imagine that if there are an abundance of white particles around her, that she is likely the goddess. So this is kind of cool. They're slowly introducing new powers and abilities that my character possesses. You look over at the young girl and see that there are many small white particles floating around her head. You've seen this happen when other people have entered your cave, so you know that this means that she's a powerful being. I'm going to get rid of that part, because, no, I haven't seen this before. This is all new to my character. Let's see. I'm going to look at Bob to see how many white particles are floating around him. Bob is your guide and friend, but you honestly have no idea how powerful Bob is. He is very wise, and he is faster than you. But you don't know what he's capable of. you are not sure how many white particles he will have. So you're excited to find out. So we now have like a power scaling system where we can just tell how like powerful people are. You turn to look at Bob and see that there are only a few small white flakes floating around his head. With this new information, you should be able to determine if the young girl is Gaia the goddess. So Bob isn't really that strong, and this young girl seems to be like incredibly powerful, like compared to Bob. Like if Bob is better than us, and she's way better than Bob, then that means that I'm like incredibly weak compared to Bob. Let's see. So I am going to bow to the young girl and compliment her on her immense power. You ask the young girl if she would like to befriend you and Bob. And you offer her a rainbow finger puppet. Because I did specifically get rainbow finger puppets from a friend in the first part that I could try and like offer to like supernatural creatures to see if they'll like aid me. I think the game got confused and thought that like she was asking me to be her friend, so I'm gonna retry it. As you bow to the young girl and offer her a rainbow finger puppet, you ask her if she is Gaia the goddess. The young girl looks at you as she accepts your gift. Okay. And it also said that she smiled. I don't know how I missed that. The young girl looks at you and smiles as she accepts your gift. You wonder if the young girl can speak or not. Yeah, because she hasn't talked to us yet. So I don't know if she actually like can talk. Let's see. You ask the young girl if she can speak or not. She looks puzzled by your question. She looks at you and shrugs her shoulders. I think it's interesting that it then says you thank her for her time. No. I'm gonna still try to commune with her even if she can't speak. Um, hmm. I wonder, yeah, is how would I try to commune with her is actually like a really good question. Because if she can't speak, I mean, she clearly can understand what I'm saying, I guess. So, I'm going to tell Gaia the goddess that I am on a journey into the unknown. You let her know that Bob is your friend and your guide through the unknown. You want to prove that you are pure, be initiated by an all-powerful being, and claim the ultimate treasure of the unknown so that you can use it to make the mortal world a better place. You ask the goddess if she has any gifts or advice to help you on your journey. With your speech, the goddess smiles. She holds out her hand, and a glowing orb appears in it. The goddess is offering you a gift. It appears to be a crystal ball, which is glowing and showing you images of treasure. Ah, you thank Gaia the goddess for her gift and her friendship. You are honored to be able to speak with her, and you hope to see her again soon. I mean, crap, you are honored to be able to speak with her. You ask Gaea if she would like to join you and Bob on your adventure. Normally, I don't think you take the goddess with you on the adventure, but there's no rule saying you can't. So let's see if she wants to. The goddess seems to think about your offer very seriously. She looks down at her feet and back up at you. She stands at her throne for a few minutes in silence while you wait patiently for her to make a decision. After a minute of silence, she speaks. Okay, so she can talk. And also she has like a throne now, which is interesting. So I'm going to like edit that real quick. She stands at her throne, which you suddenly notice was sitting behind the tree that she is next to. Okay, there we go. To establish that the throne is there, I wanted to add a little something. But I do think this is an interesting twist to try and like ask the goddess to come along and to essentially form a party. Because normally she's just kind of at this part in the adventure, and I don't think she necessarily like comes back. It's also cool that she can talk. I have decided to allow you to come with me on your journey. The way that she says it is very interesting. I'm allowing you to come with me on your journey. It's like a very odd thing to say. Thank you, goddess. It would be wonderful to have you join us. You nudge Bob, who's sitting in silence on the other side of you. Then it's funny, like, Bob's just chilling, and I'm like, yo, Bob. Oh, the goddess she just addressed us. She said that she's going to come with us. Let's see. So, I'm going to ask Bob if he is excited for Gaea the goddess to join us on our journey. Bob nods nervously. You can tell that Bob is feeling the same way you are right now, nervous and anxious, with very little idea of what's going to happen to you three. You stand in silence for a few moments before Gaea finally speaks. Okay, what is she going to say? What does she say? I'm tired. I'm going to rest before we set off, she says and walks towards her tree. You watch as she climbs it, and watches as her body seems to merge into the bark of the tree she climbs. Excuse me. Interesting. Let's see. You and Bob rest by the tree. You know that after you all rest, that your next mission will be to prove that you are pure. You aren't sure how you'll be able to do this, but you are sure that you will find a way. Okay. So we've completed the meeting with the goddess, you guys. So next time we do this journey, like this adventure, we'll be doing Woman as the Temptress, which is our like trying to prove that we're pure step of the hero's journey. I'm thinking about taking the series a step at a time. In the first episode, we went through a lot. We did the call to adventure, refusal of the call, supernatural aid, crossing the first threshold, belly of the beast, and the road of trials. So we ripped through like a whole bunch of it. But it really doesn't have to be like a speed run kind of thing. Let's take things slow. We're building up a party. You know, it seems like we're doing some cool stuff. So next time, woman as the temptress. But before we go, let's read what the AI said. You take your place by the tree and go to sleep. A few hours later, you wake up to find Bob shaking you awake. Hey, he says, tapping you on the shoulder. What is it? Oh, sorry. What is it? You ask groggily. Okay. So we'll start off there next time. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring that notification bell to be notified whenever I do these videos. Thank you all once again for tuning in. I like to do AI Dungeon 2 videos every day, so if you guys like AI Dungeon 2, definitely subscribe. And if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to donate to our Cash App, link in the description box below. Peace. Chicken bow.